The sounds and images
I got people running out of the theater that are shot.
remain stuck, frozen,
Lincoln 25, give me cops on the backside of it also.
unable to evict themselves.
The people call Officer Justin Grizzle.
Evict themselves from the mind of a man
Please be seated.
who struggles when talking about that night.
It was horrendous. It was a nightmare.
A few months ago, Justin Grizzle, the officer, told the jury of his heroic acts.
I said, we need to start getting these people to the hospital now.
Yet inside, Justin Grizzle, the husband, was feeling decidedly less than heroic.
It sucked. I mean, no other better word, because I needed to be two places at once. I couldn't.
Unbeknownst to even some of his closest friends, at that moment, Grizzle's wife was in a hospital room.
That was the absolute worst, toughest day I've had in my entire life. And there's been a few, but it was very trying.
Michelle Grizzle's smile hides the fact her body is failing. Breast cancer, a brain tumor, and her digestive system has shut down, requiring her husband to become versed in both patience and the use of an IV.
A lot of nausea, a lot of pain, just not thriving, her quality of life is it sucks.
Doctors removed 90% of her stomach trying to help. It didn't work.
What's her prognosis?
We don't know. Every time we talk to a doctor, it's this is idiopathic. Okay, but what does that mean? Well, that means we have no cause.
Sergeant Redford, I'm coming back. Do you need me to come back for more?
If you don't know the name Justin Grizzle, you almost certainly know what he did.
Come back for more. I got two here that need treated right away.
July 20th, 2012, Grizzle, tired of waiting for ambulances and paramedics, decided to take patients to hospitals using his police car.
How many trips did you ultimately make?
4.
And 4 trips to hospitals?
4 trips to hospitals.
6 people likely owe their lives to what he did that night. People like Caleb Medley.
I thought he was gone. But then I could hear him breathing, so he's not gone.
Grizzle remains under the judge's gag order and thus outside of a courtroom cannot say what he saw that night. Quite honestly, he'd prefer not to say much about his personal life as well.
We don't want to burden others with our problems. I know everyone's got problems, and why do you want to listen to my problems, So I don't want to burden other people with what I'm going through sometimes.
Part of being a cop, perhaps. He joined the force to help, and so for years, feeling uncomfortable with the help of others, he and Michelle told few of their problems. And then came that day.
Screaming, yelling.
The day he testified, the day he left his wife's hospital room, if only for an hour, to tell the jury what he saw, the day he felt horrible for leaving her.
I love her, and I got to save her, and I got to keep going. I can't lose her.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The moment he left the courtroom, he headed back to the hospital. Michelle has since left and gone back home, but the problems, medical and financial, remain.
We had a good chunk saved up in our savings. It's all gone. We had to borrow money from her parents just to help us out, paying bills with credit cards.
Recently, friends and coworkers found out and started raising money for the Grizzles, more than $27,000 so far. Yet much like those images in his head,
Copy units, just start transferring.
her diagnosis remains stuck, frozen, and quite frankly, he's not sure what he can do now.
She's my hero. She keeps plugging away. And she's going through a lot. But every day she gets up. So it's inspiring for me, but it's hard for me because I want to save her. I can't.
And for a man who helped save 6, few feelings hurt more than feeling helpless. Chris Vanderveen, 9 News.